Thanks for tuning into A Better World. I'm your host, Luis Acevedo, and be sure to check out the blog. It's loseviews.blogspot.com. Today we're going to be talking about how Donald Trump is channeling his inner Ronald Reagan in one way particular, and that is with the executive order he signed yesterday during all this craziness with the pandemic and economic downturn. That executive order would allow private corporations and governments to use extracted resources from outer space to energize or or for other industrial purposes. Very forward thinking, innovative, and comparable to Ronald Reagan's mindset on space when he wanted to develop satellites that would deter or mitigate nuclear attacks or missile attacks. That was called Star Wars, or the Strategic Defense Initiative. Nothing came to fruition about it, but we have President Trump thinking that way too when it comes to outer space. He established the Space Force and now this executive order, and people, for whatever reason, did not like the idea of Space Force, which to me it's mind-boggling why you would not like it or think it's ridiculous when humanity is inevitably heading towards space exploration. I mean, I guess you can't really say inevitably, but one would assume that we would because of the lifespan of a planet. Eventually, if humanity is able to outlast Earth, we're going to need to go somewhere to live, right? And so that's, one reason we shouldn't think it's, funny to have some Space Force idea and colonization of other planets. You have NASA talking about setting a station on the moon, the south pole of the moon, and you have Elon Musk talking about colonizing Mars, and terraforming planets, starting to colonize and spread our economic footprint throughout the solar system and just humanity's footprint throughout the solar system. And big argument I've always heard against space exploration has to do with the fact that we don't know everything on Earth, so why will we go out in space when we don't know everything about our own planet? And, we can discover things about humanity's history that are unknown today, or maybe just, being hidden, whatever, here. But the same can and possibly is true with space exploration. There's an idea where we colonized Mars, or, not colonized, but we inhabited Mars billions of years ago. Maybe it wasn't humans, but it was some other intelligent life form that lived on Mars, and now it has no atmosphere, and they believe, scientists that is, believe that some catastrophic war may have happened, which destroyed the atmosphere, forcing them to move or completely wiping out that race altogether. Now, thinking of that, it makes you wonder how long we can survive on this planet, if we'll come to the same, demise as the potential existence of other life forms did as well, or if climate change will cause it, whatnot. Now, so just for that purpose alone, and trying to find other habitable planets or transforming planets so that way we can live there. I know it sounds like science fiction, but I don't see why it can't come to fruition in the future. Just look at how far we've come now compared to our great grandparents with technology. It's only going to keep advancing. Now, there's a school of thought that when this happens, it'll be a breakaway civilization for the elites only, and the elites will either desecrate this planet, leaving us behind, or start using us for energy. You have an example of this with Microsoft. They have this thing, I believe it's called Bing, not the search engine, but a tool, some sort of video game, treadmill, weird draconian design, where they are using your brain waves. You're using your brain waves to mine cryptocurrencies and things like that. It's very wicked, in my opinion. It's like Matrix. It's like crypto Matrix stuff, And that's very concerning. And then you have, that whole issue with Bill Gates talking about mandatory vaccines need to be in place before, mass gatherings can take place. And yeah, that guy, he's suspicious and, in my opinion, wicked. He's talking about depopulating the planet and things of that nature, which then ties into the whole breakaway civilization for the elite. And I get the concern for that, and that is probably a true, serious possibility and thing that is occurring right now with the top 1% or 0.01%, whatever, talking about this breakaway civilization. And this could have something to do with the Space Force and the United States, China, Canada, all these countries trying to work together. And I know there's also, a concern with one world government, especially when we're talking about intergalactic travel. Wouldn't it be better to be united as one species, one race, one planet, traveling the globe? That way, if we encounter some other life form, and maybe they're hostile, we then have mankind to help us out in its totality, as opposed to just one nation going out and trying to help. We have the, you know, entire race to assist. So, with that thought process, it's a little concerning because the one world government, you look in the Bible, you just think of a one world government from a 1984 standpoint or Brave New World standpoint. It's very wicked, evil, not good, and we should avoid it at all cost. Do everything we can to prevent it from happening. However, we do know it's inevitable. Now, I think that breakaway civilization is obviously not ideal, but I do believe there's another breakaway civilization that we will see that's inevitable as well, and another one world government that's inevitable as well that gets left out of the picture entirely, and that has to do with Revelations 21, verse 1, where it says, the new heaven and new earth will come about, and the first earth and first heaven will go away, fade away, and God will sort of restore the natural order of things, and we'll live on this new planet, new earth, new heaven, etc. That to me is a breakaway civilization. Who knows? That could be us, our God working in his ways and, destroying this planet, taking us to another planet, or creating another planet for us. I'm not sure how exactly that'll play out. Nobody really does, but it'll be new to us, maybe new entirely, but that to me seems like a breakaway civilization. So I think, there is cause for concern for the elite breakaway civilization, but I do think there's also hope in that there potentially is this biblical breakaway civilization that will take place as well. And who knows if, the elite one will come to fruition or not, but definitely the benevolent one, the one of God, will come to fruition. And I look at it as, like I said, a breakaway civilization as well. So just wanted to go over this new executive order on what's going on in space. And, I think it's a wonderful thing. I think we're moving forward. I think our generation will see the inception of this. Probably our great-grandchildren, great-great-grandchildren will be the ones, exploring the galaxy or whatnot. I don't know. I know it sounds crazy, but truth is stranger than fiction usually. So, yeah, just wanted to change it up a little bit and talk about something more uplifting and more positive than, the pandemic or anything like that, and just something nobody really talking about. So yeah, if you like what you hear, please like, share, subscribe, and follow the blog at loseview.blogspot.com, and you guys have a good rest of your day. Peace.